right, David, please. To your right, David, please.
David, to the left. Thank you. Straight down the middle.
Contrast to today, what are the ingredients that are missing and what's the difference?
Well, it's 10 days, 3 trophies, one big dream. You got the job done. Is it so easy now for managers to complain about fixture scheduling?
Well, you know, you do hear that a lot, but there's a lot of games that we played in back then, and I think there was the same kind of conversations back then about the games and the amount of games that we were playing. But you have a season like we had, and you don't care how many games you play. You'd play another 20 games to have experiences like what we had. And I think if you ask someone like Pep, he'd say exactly the same thing. You know, yes, you know, he will always come out and try to protect players, and all managers will do and have the right to. But I think if you was to ask Pep about, you know, his season last year, he'd say exactly the same thing. I don't care how many games we played, what we achieved was incredible, and obviously we were able to do the same thing. So, you know, we'd have gladly taken 20 more games that season.
That's the spirit. Listen, Sir Alex Ferguson, the insight from him is incredible in this, how he pushed you guys and motivated you to win every game you could. Big one's coming up for Manchester United. How important is it now, when times are tough, for Erik ten Hag to motivate that dressing room and be listened to by his players?
Well, in all honesty, you'd hope that the manager doesn't have to do much. I think that's the whole point of being a Manchester United player and playing in these big games. You know, you should be motivated. When you're a professional footballer and you're doing the job that you love and you're at the club that you love, when you're playing in any game, whether it's a regular season game or whether it's an FA Cup final against your rivals, then, you know, that should be enough motivation. And if it's not, then you're in the wrong team and you're playing the wrong sport. So I think at the end of the day, we went into every game, whether it was a Youth Cup game, a friendly game, off-season, or a European Cup final, with the same mentality and the same drive. And that's what you'd hope that any team and any player for Manchester United go into an FA Cup final against Manchester City with enough motivation that the manager shouldn't have to say much.
The importance comes across in this documentary of your friendship with the players, all the youngsters coming up together. That's something we're starting to see more of under Erik ten Hag.
Yeah, I think that, you know, we all know that, you know, Eric's a very qualified manager and a good manager, and he has the right motives. But, you know, I think that we were lucky in our day that we had, you know, Sir Alex Ferguson. We were lucky that we had Eric Harrison and Jim Ryan and Nobby Stiles and all of these great managers and motivators. So, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Also, just one more question before I let you go. How excited are you for England? Euro's just around the corner, 36 days, Jude Bellingham in an England shirt. Yeah. You buzzing?
I think we all get excited about these big competitions. You know, as England fans, we're always excited for when the Euros come around or the World Cup comes around, and our fans will get right behind the team. I think we have a real opportunity, but we all know that once you're in a tournament, then it's a whole different ball game. But no, I'm excited as an England fan. I'm excited for these Euros, and obviously the season that Jude's had. You know, the talent that he is, but it's not just the talent with Jude. You know, it's about the way he is, the way he handles himself. He's a model pro that knows exactly what he needs to do. You know, for someone that is so young to have the maturity that he has is incredible. And I think him playing abroad has helped him with that. And now he's obviously at Real Madrid, where the expectations are higher than most other clubs around the world. And he's living up to those, so it's great to see his smile. It's great to see, you know, the talent that he is, and when he gets in that England shirt, we'll all be very happy as well.
Most importantly, before I let you go and watch this documentary, Andy Goldstein and your former teammate Darren Bent listening back in the studio. Do you get a chance to listen to them often?
Do you know what? When I'm driving back on a long drive, I always listen to the boys, and you know, they're entertaining. My mum's obviously a big fan.
Your mum and Andy are friends. Weird.
I know it is. Well, it's a little bit weird, but I don't mind. I love Andy, so you know, and Darren's a great lad as well. So I'm always listening. So tell them to please be nice, or they'll hear this now. But I'm always listening. I'm always a fan of the show, and yeah.
Andy's saying he's got better hair than you. What do you say to that?
Maybe he has. What do you think?
I'm going to say you because you're right in front of me.
Thank you very much.
David, thank you. Enjoy the premiere.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Thank you. Great to talk to you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I think it has.
Do you keep in touch with many of the lads, or is it?
Not so much. I play a lot of golf with Yorkie. I see Dennis quite a bit in Dubai when we're doing our stuff out there. Come across the lads every now and again, different people. But
Difficult for you all to meet up.
we're just like any workplace, you know. Once you've done your business, you've had your career at certain times, and then you move on, and then you might see each other, and you know you live it in and out of each other's pockets for 3-4 years, and then you don't see them for ages. But then when you do, you're like old friends again.
Can I just ask you what you make of Manchester United have the FA Cup final coming up? Will silverware save the season?
It would definitely go a long way to saving the season. Yeah, one game won't change anything what people think, but I mean it would be a fantastic way to end the season if they do happen to win it. But that's a long shot at the moment, the way I see it.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of change going on at the club from the top all the way down. What sort of impact do you think this will have long term? Are you optimistic?
Long term, of course. I mean, it's a fantastic club. It's a big club. So yes, I think long term it'll be okay. But I think the short term is the big problem at the moment. They need to dig deep. They need to take a leaf out of Fergie's era and make sure that they stand alongside each other and ready to fight. And that means this weekend and then for the FA Cup final as well.
Exactly. I mean, how difficult is it to turn things around?
It is difficult. You know, when you're in a rut like this, there's an old saying in football, when you're winning games, you can't see yourself losing. And when you're losing games, you can't see yourself winning. And they're definitely in that sort of position at the moment, that they can't see themselves winning, but that's when you show your real grit and stick together.
And then just finally, with all the changes, do you think Eric will be there next season?
That's not for me to say. It's a tough one. He's going through tough times as well.
It's been a strange season injury-wise, hasn't it? Not just for United. You look across the top team.
Yeah, there's been loads of injuries, isn't there? You know, everyone's complaining about that. Might need something to look into that.
Do you think there's too much football?
Isn't there always?
Thank you. Jesper, so all of a sudden, a night from many years ago was relived.
Yeah. No, it feels really, really amazing. I'm not. It's not every day you get to relive a year of your career. So I'm looking forward to this.
Exactly. I mean, how vivid is it?
No, but it's not for me. I have a weak memory. Don't remember so much. So for me to see old pictures move, you know, it will be a great feeling for me, since I have a hard time remembering it on my own.
I'm a very visual person.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Exactly. So we move on to that, and success from '99 is very difficult to replicate, except for Manchester City, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, it's for me. Of course, you want to be the only team, but on the other hand, when they did it, you realize how good a team they are, how good they've been, and then it reflects quite good on us, I think, as well, how difficult it is to achieve that. So
exactly.
For me, it was in a way nice to see them last year anyway.
Exactly. I mean, does that bring memories of just how good you were? Do you remember being that good?
No, not at all. No, and I think, but also if you look at the season, the City season and our season, it's also. I moved a bit. It's also that you you need a little bit of luck in those important games. Or maybe it's not luck, maybe it's just the togetherness and the feeling among each other to have that, to work towards that luck. But we had it, and I know City had it as well at some stages of the season.
Exactly. Now, I mean, do you stay in touch with many of the lads, or is this like the first proper reunion for you?
No, but we see each other. Some of them I see more often, some of them I speak to one or two a little bit more, and then we meet up and play every now and then with 3 or 4 or 5 players. So it's some I haven't seen for a long time. So it's brilliant. Those occasions is the ones you have to really enjoy and embrace.
Do you still follow Manchester United?
Definitely, more than ever.
Exactly. No, it's been a difficult season, but can the FA Cup rescue this difficult season for them?
No, I don't think one game can rescue a really tough and then bad season in a way. But of course, it will be a little bit of a help to smoothen everything out. And it's nice to be in a final, but
silverware.
Yeah, silverware is always. But of course, when you look back at the season, you can't be happy with it, even if you win the FA Cup. When you see all this now, and hopefully when we see the documentary as well, you will feel that even more. Just that you left something behind that is a legacy, and that is maybe one of the best seasons in the club's history, and that you were being a small part of that legacy, and that is a fantastic feel. In the beginning it was tough, and you felt a little, because it's always a nice feeling to be the only one. But with a little bit more thought into it, it felt really nice, because it also gave us some insight in how good a team City is, and also our performance and our way of that we actually did it 25 years ago. So I think now when I feel it's nice, you can appreciate City what they did, and also it reflects on us and our way of how we did it 25 years ago.
Back centre again. That's great, thank you. Here you go, you see?
Respectful.
Do you know something? I had to text.
Sorry. It's great. I mean, things like this are great for us, because obviously it's been so long ago, 25 years ago that it's happened, and you don't really sit back and think about it because it's part of your life, and it's a great part of your life. But I'm not one that sits about and goes on about it. But when you do come to these places, I think that's when the goose pimples come on, and you remember what a special time it was. So it's nice to see.
Obviously.
Yeah, you don't take it in when you're there, because the manager used to drive you. Enjoy it tonight, enjoy it tomorrow. The next day, it's looking on to the next game and the next season, and that was always in our mantra, really. And looking back, I wish it wasn't, if I'm honest, because I like seeing people have a good time and enjoying the success and the wins, which it's great to see. We didn't really do that much. Don't get me wrong, we had a great night, or 2 or 3 nights after this, but it was straight back to what we've got to do next. If you didn't, the manager would get rid of you, because he wanted winners every single season. So.
So you move forward. Do you see any of the lads on anywhere at all, or is it just?
No, yeah. We catch up now and then, to be honest. Sometimes we work for Manchester United as ambassadors and catch up there. Sometimes we play like charity games and you catch up there. Or you do some TV work and you catch up there. So it's a different kind of areas you catch up on. So, but it's always nice, it's with this bunch of lads, we experienced a lot of good periods together. So it's always nice to catch up a little bit.
What do you make of the current Manchester United side?
I think it's a good side. They have something really, to look forward to now. It's the Wembley final. I think they have some results. Teams and players always go into times in their career they can go up and down, but it's how you get out of that. And they know what to do. That's just hard work to get out of. If you feel a little bit down, just go on the training pitch to work as hard as you can, and build on the result you get. But now United has really something to look forward to, and that's to go to Wembley. and that can put a really good stamp on their season. So I think they, work hard every day.
Now, with the changes that have gone on within the hierarchy, do you see good times ahead for United?
So, say again?
With all the changes to Jim's buy-in, and from the hierarchy director of football, all of these things.
Yeah, I think it could be. I'm looking forward to this period that comes now, because it's. We'll see. It's something I look forward to see how it in which direction it goes. So with United as a club, there is it's going to be demands that that's going to be going in the right direction. So it's something I think we're all looking forward to as well, to see what's going to happen.
Sir Alex always used to say football's cyclical. It goes in cycles. So this is just a difficult side.
That's what I mean. It's always players and always clubs and teams. They go. The performance goes up and down a little bit, and that's not only in football, but in sport in general. So, but it's how you work yourself out of it. That's put like the stamp on the teams, how they go out and everyday training pitch and see how they go on with it. So hopefully they can work hard and get the result at Wembley, at least.
And then just finally, do you think there's too much football? Because we look at the injuries this year, not just United, other top teams are all being hit hard.
I know. I went through that a little bit myself as well. So it's even though that they play more games now than we play, but it's a lot of games. It's tough for I think body can take most of it, but it's the concentration of the head which is really tough, because especially after. In my experience, you go out and play in Europe and then come back to England and you have a away game. That could be... and you play away games. That's very difficult.
Enjoy your evening.
A match, they tend to sort of dominate. So very different style of play, very different way of working. But their achievement is the equal of ours. I just think. I can't hear. I've watched the first one. I've not seen the last one yet. So I'm going to watch the last one tonight for the first time. Yeah, it was United's greatest season. It always will be, I think. I don't think you can ever beat that for drama. Look, I don't think we look back that often too much as players. I think we always make sure that we live in the future and we always try and achieve what we can. But 25 years on from that sort of special moment, it was worth looking back and just, a bit of nostalgia is good sort of once in a while. Some of them, yeah. I mean, obviously the lads that still live in Manchester, Nicky, Ryan, Scholesy, Bex, obviously I see quite a bit. Phil, I see less of Phil than anyone else actually, because he lives over in America now. So yeah, the ones that are around in Manchester, and I see some of them obviously. I see Roy quite obviously on Sky and doing the overlap with him, and I see some of the other lads as well when they're doing the media round. See Yap quite a lot and Peter Schmeichel. So yeah, it's good. Yeah. 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 Yeah, but look, it was an exciting time. There was a thrill around that season. You couldn't have got better football matches. The comebacks, red cards, penalty misses, late goals, great goals. Playing against the best teams in Europe and obviously in our country all the way through. We played against every top side. It felt like the culmination of a sort of a dream that probably we all had, to get to the pinnacle and sort of the very top of football, and that season we did it, thankfully.
This season, it seems to be struggling a bit, do you think?
This season?
Yeah, do you think if the current tend to watch the documentary, it might be a bit inspirational for them?
That's what I'd hope. I mean, look, history can be your friend and it can be your enemy when you look back, and sort of I'd hope that Manchester United's history can inspire the current group. And look, there is a really important game in 3 weeks against Manchester City in the cup final, and that could be the start of something very special. They have to look at it that way, I hope, because you know, it didn't all start with a treble for us or for Sir Alex Ferguson. It started in 1989 with an FA Cup win against Crystal Palace at Wembley, and 10 years later Manchester United won the Champions League, but it took 10 years from that FA Cup win. So I think that it's really important to reflect upon the fact that, you know, I grew up in the 80s as a United fan when we didn't win the league, so you can't always be successful, and I hope the current group can win against City in a few weeks, find a way to win somehow, and that could be the start of something that could create great belief. No, but we did know at the time, I think, those of us who were United fans, how special it was, because we'd had the Champions League, the European Cup success of '68. We knew about this. We knew how important it was. The statue of Best Law and Charlton, the Busby Babes, the journey in Europe. We knew that it was important, and obviously we'd won the double already as a group of players. Some in '94, us in '96, and some in both. So we'd won the FA Cup and Premier League a few times. It was always the Champions League that was the icing on the cake, the cherry, if you like. And I think from that point of view, we knew how big it was. We knew. I remember saying to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that night, "You don't know what you've just done." Honestly, it hit me the minute that goal went in. I lay on the floor and looked up because I was a United fan. I knew that what we'd done was monumental, not just forget the treble, but just the actual winning the Champions League. So to look, and what they did was amazing. So I would never take away from what they did. The only thing I would say is from our point of view that our games probably were more dramatic. We had so many games where we won in the last minute, or we had people sent off and we had missed penalties, and some of the best games I've ever seen or been part of were in that season for us. So maybe it was more dramatic hours because of the style of play we have. They're just a machine the way they play, and they don't give teams a chance. So it always feels a little bit more methodical, but you know, they're equal achievements.